What's good, R&B squad? This is Heart of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new here, welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. At the time that I am recording this, it is Tuesday evening, and you guys are probably going to receive this word possibly on Thursday or Friday. Whenever the Lord has me schedule it, then you'll have it released, and it will be specific to that particular time. Whenever you hear it, just know that that's when you need it the most, for whom this is for, okay? So I'm going to get right into the word. It came from a dream that I had recently, very recent dream. And I actually had that dream this month, just a few days ago. And in addition to that, there's some scripture to accompany it, okay? So in this dream, and please listen carefully so that you'll know whether or not this is for you. There will be more than one confirmation in here so that you should know as you listen whether it's for you or not. So in this dream, oh, and one other thing before I continue. You may be a man listening to this and you may be in this situation, or you may be a woman who knows a man who is in this situation, okay? Either way, whichever category you fall into, this message can still be for you. So, in the dream that I had, I saw this man. The man was in a room and he was changing his clothes. He was getting a change of clothing. And I noticed that he had a fresh haircut and he was freshly shaved. Okay. And I remember I passed by him, and to give him some gentle encouragement, I told him, "You look so handsome." And I started like giving him a pep talk for him to keep going as he was getting ready. Because he had this look on his face like he looked so annoyed, like he was annoyed at the fact that he was even in that situation to begin with. I don't know what his situation was, but he looked like he was annoyed to be in it. And he looked like he couldn't put his clothes on fast enough to get out of that room or out of that situation that he was in. So I remember I started giving him a pep talk and telling him that he looked handsome and so on and so forth to encourage him. And then I woke up from the dream. The Lord particularly put emphasis on the fact that he was getting a change of clothing, he was changing his clothes, and he had a fresh haircut and a fresh shave, okay? When I woke up, the Lord led me to two scriptures, Genesis chapter 41, verse 14, and Acts chapter 12, verse 8. I'm going to read both scriptures. I'm also going to put them in the description box. So Genesis 41:14, then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him quickly out of the dungeon, and he shaved, changed his clothing, and came to Pharaoh. Now, Acts chapter 12, verse 8, the angel said to him, prepare yourself and strap on your sandals to get ready for whatever may happen. And he did so. Then the angel told him, put on your robe and follow me. Now, notice in both Genesis 41 and Acts 12, there is a miraculous release from prison. A release from prison and from being held captive that could have only come from God. Okay? Peter had been in that jail for a while. Joseph had been in there even longer. Okay? And I keep receiving messages about a male being released from prison all the time. So how the Lord broke this down to me is like this. There is a man in a situation right now, and this might be somebody that you know, this might be you, this might be the person that God told you is going to be your husband. There is a woman from his past, a woman that he is currently making every effort to break away from, a woman that he has already moved on from in his heart. He is not in love with this person. He does not feel any love for this person. As a matter of fact, he feels disgust. When I looked at that man's face in that dream, he looked so annoyed at the fact that he was even there in that situation. He looked like he couldn't get his clothes on fast enough so that he could leave up out of there. Okay? Nobody likes to be in a situation where they feel like they're locked up, like they're in prison. So this man is in a situation where he's trying to get away from this female. The female is a counterfeit. God made it clear that this person is not supposed to be in his life. There is another woman that he is in love with. This woman that he is in love with, this woman is the woman that he is supposed to be with. This is the woman that he's supposed to marry. And he's putting certain things in place so that he can marry this woman. And the other woman, the counterfeit, she knows because she's been snooping and she's been prying into his business. So she knows that it's certain things that he's putting into place to marry this other lady. Okay, this lady that's really supposed to be his wife, this lady that's his God-ordained spouse. And what she decided to do, because she realizes that it's getting closer to the time for him to finalize everything to marry this woman, she decided that she was going to try to throw like a monkey wrench in his plans. Okay? Now, this woman, the way the Lord showed it to me, she tried everything. It's like she was performing on stage, like she was putting on an act, a show. She tried to make a show of being nice to him at the last minute. She tried to make a show of making him think that she had changed. She did all kinds of things and it did not work. She put on a hell of a performance. Pardon my language. None of it worked, okay? The man was steady. His mind was set on going to this woman and marrying her. And because she was angered at that, because this counterfeit was angered at that, what she decided to do now is use force. So it's one of two things. In some situations, and this can apply to more than one man, okay? More than one person. In some situations, she could have used witchcraft to imprison this man, to prevent him from trying to move forward, to prevent him from forward movement, to prevent him from getting to this woman to marry her. Okay? She could have used witchcraft. In other situations, this person actually threatened this man or is holding something over his head. There's something that she knows about him, something that she possibly knows about his family, something that she knows can be detrimental to him and possibly even to his relationship with this woman that he wants to marry if it gets out in the open. She knows that. So she's holding this thing over this man's head. In some instances, it's witchcraft. In other instances, she's holding the threat of revealing some sort of information. There's some sort of threat that she's holding over his head, something that she's using to try to keep him from leaving. So this man literally feels either way, whether he's being coerced and threatened into staying in the position that he's in, or she's using witchcraft. Either way, this man knows that he's locked up. That's how he feels, like he's in prison. God said he's getting ready to bust that man right out of there. The same way he made a miraculous escape for Joseph. One day Joseph was in prison and the next day he wasn't. One day Peter was in prison waiting to go to trial and the next day he wasn't. Okay, for some of you, and the Lord just put this in my spirit, for some of you, it could be a female that actually told a lie on you or said something to you, and you might actually be incarcerated. You might actually know someone who's incarcerated right now because of a lie that was told on him to the police by a female that he was trying to leave. Okay, the Lord is saying, whatever your situation is, whether your prison is figurative in a figurative sense or it's literal, he is getting ready to get you out of there. And it is going to be a miraculous escape. There is nothing that this woman or anybody else can do to keep you trapped. And as for the woman that he's really supposed to marry, this woman, sis, if you're listening to this and this is you praying for this man is going to play an integral role in getting him out of that situation. So keep praying for him. Keep praying for him. Okay? Don't stop praying for this man. God has already alerted you, and this is how you'll know this is for you, sister. God has already alerted you to the fact that something is wrong. It's something off. Something just happened recently that is off, and you couldn't put your finger on it, but you know when something is wrong. You can feel it because you and this man are one. God has already united y'all in the spirit. You and this man are one. So you can already tell, even if he can't come forward and say to you what is happening at the moment, you can already feel that something is wrong. Follow what the Lord has put on your spirit, what he's put on your heart, and pray for this man. Your prayers are going to be the thing that is going to cause his breakthrough. And that's the thing about this counterfeit. She takes for granted the fact that you are a true woman of God. Sister in Christ, if this is your situation and this is your person that is imprisoned right now, this woman that has him in this situation, takes for granted that you are a true woman of God. And not only that, you are the woman that God has anointed to be his future wife. God has anointed you to be his spouse. Let me tell y'all something about a covenant prayer. When you go to God and you pray on behalf of the man or the woman that God has anointed you as partner to, that prayer hits different. It hits different. There may be other people praying for this man, but their prayers aren't going to hit like yours. Not like yours. Your prayers are going to hit different. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't give up. Don't stop praying for this man. But just know that his release from prison, for God to mention it twice in one dream, he gave me 2 scriptures. And the dream was given to Pharaoh twice, because the thing is established and it will shortly be brought to pass. I'm going to put that in the description box as well. For God to give me 2 scriptures for this one dream, that alone should tell you that this is getting ready to happen. This is now. This is a right now word for you, for whomever this is for. So I hope that this word blessed someone. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.